Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Hunted by the Past. Episode 2. Chapter 9. I wake up slowly, feeling the sunshine on my skin. That is so amazing. When I open my eyes, I realize I'm not in the hospital room anymore. Where is this? I sit up and try to analyze the room around me. Is this a bedroom? It's even bigger. I'm in a ridiculously large canopy bed, to begin with. The sheets are of various shades of pink and orange, and there are, like, a dozen cushions. If it was any more girlish than that, I could have felt like I woke up in some fairy tale. 2 large windows illuminate the room, with some of the sunlight falling directly on me. And the view. I can view the whole city from here, like from one of those skyscrapers. I get up to approach the window, and realize I indeed am in one of those skyscrapers. This is insane. I step back and turn around. Someone left a long, silk kimono on my bed, and I take it to cover myself. There are 2 large wardrobes, a dressing desk in front of my bed, and an entirely stored bookshelf. 2 of the books I was reading at the hospital have been placed on the bedside table. I open one of the wardrobes and recognize some of the clothes Tanya bought me, while some are clearly brand new. I exit the room, a bit confused, and as soon as I open the door, I almost trip on some huge mountain of fur. Bobo. The big brown wolf gets up to greet me. Does he ever get into his human form at all? Bobo, what is this place? Where are we? Of course, he won't respond, but he grabs a piece of my kimono and pulls me to another room. I smell something burning as soon as we enter. In a big and modern kitchen, Tanya is busy cooking, with a frown on, but smiles as soon as she sees us. Hi, baby girl. Tanya, what are you doing? The smell worries me, so I go over to where she is indeed burning some sausages. What a mess. I take over by reflex, and she only seems too happy to let me. Sorry, I wanted to make breakfast, but I really suck at this. It's okay, I can do it. Can I borrow some things? You can take whatever you want, Nora, go ahead. I quickly grab a few things I can find in all the cupboards and the fridge and decide to do some crepes and an omelette with mushroom and the sausages I could save from Tanya's attempt. Bobo hungrily watches me through the whole process. If you start drooling, Bobo, I'm not cleaning. Tanya says. They argue for a while, though, I can only hear Tanya's side. She is still mindful enough to answer him out loud, though he is apparently making fun of her poor cooking skills. While the siblings fight, I can only enjoy this fantastic cooking space. Everything is brand new and really top-notch material, too. I've never cooked in such a big kitchen before, though I'm only cooking for 3. I'm done soon enough, and we can finally sit to enjoy it. I was kinda hoping Bobo would shift to eat on the table with us, but as usual, Tanya just puts his plate down on the floor for him. Go ahead, you piggy. Thank you for this, Nora. I knew you liked cooking, but I didn't know you were that good. Where did you learn? My father taught me when I was young. I just loved cooking with him, and after he passed I just kept cooking for the pack, so, I dropped my fork. The pack. How could I be so stupid and mention the pack now? I was so happy with my cooking, I forgot to stay on guard. Tanya looks at me, shocked. So you do belong to a pack? I gasp, not knowing what to say. Of course, it's way too late to lie anymore now. Gosh, Nora, you. Even Bobo has stopped eating. All of a sudden he starts growling. At first, I think he might be angry at me, but then Tanya enlightens me soon enough. She slams her fist on the table, making me jump. Why couldn't I shut up? What sort of pack is this? Nora, I examined you, you were abused for years. And your pack never helped you. What can I say now? I just stay quiet and bite my lip, confused about what I should do. I can't tell her that my pack was abusing me. She looks so mad, I'm sure she would run to give them a scolding, and I'm terrified about the consequences if Damien knows about this. But Tanya is all agitated now, and Bobo won't stop scrutinizing me either. What's the name of your pack? I got 2 words to tell your alpha. Oh, no way I'll tell her when she is this enraged. But what can I do? Tanya, I really don't want my pack to be in trouble because of me. I'm okay. Okay? Don't tell me you're okay, Nora, do you have any idea how long your medical chart was? I shake my head. It was because I was attacked the night before, Tanya. Otherwise, I'm okay, it's just I got scolded a few times, that's it. She suddenly gets up and exits the room, not the slightest calmer. When she comes back, she has a couple of pictures in her hands, and she shows me. They're pictures in black and white, and I recognize the entrance of the hospital I was at. The caption is yesterday's date. Were these taken from surveillance cameras? Who is the guy at the help desk, Nora? He was looking for you, he gave your name to the secretary. I look more closely at the photos. He's wearing a dark cap covering his face, but actually, I can recognize the cap itself. It's my brother's. Is that really Alec? The size and shape of the silhouette look about right. Alec was looking for me? Why? Was he concerned, or? I shiver. Tanya is waiting for my response, and so is Bobo, and I get that I'm not getting away with another lie this time. I sigh and put the pictures down on the table. That's my brother. I think. My answer surprises Tanya, but she calms down a little. Your brother? Oh, you did mention you had one. Well, it seems like he is looking for you. Do you want me to tell him you? No. I screamed. The siblings were startled, but now they're both looking at me with surprise. I don't want Alec to find me. That's the main reason I agreed to stay locked in this hospital room before I was scared. Nora? Nora, what's going on? Tanya, I don't want my brother to find me. I ran away. That's not totally a lie, is it? At least I don't need to tell them Alec was the one that tried to choke and kill me. Tanya looks a bit confused, and I can tell she's thinking hard right now. Maybe she is talking with her brother with the mind link, but I don't know, they are both silently staring at me. It goes on for a while, and no one says a word. In the end, Tanya turns her head to Bobo, and as she's frowning, I can tell they're arguing. But Bobo starts eating again, ignoring her. She rolls her eyes. Okay, I get it. For now. To be honest, we moved you out of the hospital for that reason, anyway. We were worried about having some unidentified guy looking for you. I take it that you're hiding from your pack then? Yes. Sort of. Can we, just not mention them for the moment? Tanya frowns, but eventually, she slowly starts eating again. I can tell she's not happy with my response and is still thinking long and hard, but she doesn't ask any more questions. So I just concentrate on eating my omelette, and that's it. After a while, I'm done, and we are both silently drinking tea for me and coffee for Tanya while Bobo finishes his third plate. Looks like his stomach doesn't mind the burnt sausages. Tanya. Where are we? Oh, this is your apartment. I almost dropped my cup of tea from the shock. What does Tanya mean my apartment? Did she make a mistake? What? Tanya, I don't have an apartment. And surely not something as impressive as this. I wouldn't even dream of having such a large place to live in. The whole basement could fit in the bedroom alone, and everything looks so new and modern, and high quality, and now I am enjoying some fragrant tea by a great glass wall, with a full view of the city. A month ago, I was used by my pack like a slave, doing chores all day, and my brother was ready to sell me to cover his debts. I don't own anything, nothing at all. But Tanya just smiles. Well, you do now. The boss arranged this place for you. The whole apartment is yours. Oh, of course, you can tell us if there is anything you don't like, and we can always have it replaced. Tanya, I can't have an apartment out of the blue, this is ridiculous. You have no idea how poor I actually am. I really appreciate you trying to help me, but this is too much. She looks at me for a few seconds, then rolls her eyes with an exasperated look. Nora, for someone so cute and tiny, you can be unreasonably stubborn, you know that? Listen now, baby girl. You're the boss's mate. You got nowhere to go as far as I know, and for some unknown reason, you're hiding from your useless pack. Now, the boss is the most powerful man in this city, and trust me, buying an apartment like this is nothing for him. I mean it. Just consider it as him lending you a room, okay? It's not okay, even if she says it like this, but it's true I don't have much choice either. Where would I go otherwise? I really don't have anyone I know that I could trust, and I'm pretty sure my pack must be looking for me now. Unless they think I'm dead, which would make sense, too. But being here doesn't feel right either. Everything is too much. I feel like I'm stepping in a shoe that's way too big for me. After breakfast, Tanya gives me a tour of the place that I'm now supposed to live in, temporarily, as I insisted. I'm glad there are not too many useless rooms like in those huge, luxurious people houses. There are actually 3 bedrooms, the biggest one occupied by me, and one of the tinier rooms by Tanya. Apparently Bobo sleeps wherever he wants, but I suspect he's guarding my room, anyway. Tanya also specifies that each of the bedrooms has its own connected bathroom. There's a big kitchen where we had breakfast in, and a dining room for 8 people. Then, Tanya takes me to another place, a study. With a desk, a computer, and more bookshelves. I can't help but take a tour to see all the books, making Tanya laugh. You give her a latest generation, super cool computer, and all she cares about are the books. You were born in the wrong century, baby girl. I don't really care about computers, I just love reading. And I am borrowing those books and this computer. If you say so. Well, you can always use the computer if you want to borrow more. Come on, there's one more room. The last room turns out to be a living room. I stop at the entrance. There's a large sofa with multicolored cushions, a large TV, a game station, and even a stereo with a shelf full of CDs and DVDs. Oh yes, Bobo and I didn't know what kind of music you like so. Nora, what? Why are you crying? I just can't stop. It's all coming back to me. I could never even step into the Jade Moon's main house living room before. And now I have a full room I can use all I want? I'm okay. Sorry, Tanya, I just got a bit overwhelmed for a second. She looks at me suspiciously, but I'm just busy wiping off my tears. Bobo rubs his head against my leg, trying to cheer me up. Thank you, Bobo, I think as I pat his head. I've wanted to try petting him forever. It's not something I should do with a fellow werewolf, but I'm starting to feel like Bobo is the most dog-like werewolf I've ever seen. Okay Nora, stop crying. You're making me want to punch some people, and I don't have names yet so I can't. You know what you need right now. I shake my head, confused. What is it? You, baby girl, need a good sweating. Chapter 10. Tanya made me change into a workout outfit. This is actually my first time wearing one, and I'm surprised how comfy it is. I put on a black legging, and underneath a white simple tank top made of some really light material I don't know. After braiding my hair quickly, I joined Tanya at the entrance of the apartment. Apparently, the building has a gym upstairs for its tenants, and Tanya, having changed clothes too, takes me there. I'm happy to learn I can exit the apartment as I want this time, though she didn't mention going outside yet. As usual, Bobo the wolf bear follows us like a shadow, and once we're in the elevator, I can't help but ask him. Bobo, do you change into your human form sometimes? Tanya laughs and answers in his stead, he likes his wolf form much better, actually. More convenient, less thinking, he says. You know, he shapeshifted super early for the first time, when he was just 5 years old. I remember, our mom thought it was Neil. She totally freaked out when we found out it was Bobo. And he was pretty big at that time, too. I didn't know we could shapeshift so young. I say while looking at her brother. Tanya shakes her head and fondly scratches her brother's head. Oh, this is a rarity. Most werewolves turn around 10 or 12 for the first time. He's a natural, I guess. Back when he was a teen, he spent half of his time in his wolf form. Frankly, it was a pain. He left his hair everywhere on the furniture. Now it's more like 80%, I would say. But honestly, this doesn't change much from where he's on 2 feet. He's not a chatterbox in his human form either. I can't really imagine what Bobo looks like as a human. He is so dog-like, it's hard to remember he's a werewolf sometimes. What about your big brother? Neil? No, Bobo's the only one who thinks he is a house dog. Neil likes his human form. Like a normal werewolf, I mean. But he's the same color as Bobo, just a bit smaller. And what about you? I think I'm a tiny bit darker than the guys, and my size should be the same as Neil's. We are still pretty big, anyway. The giant size runs in the family. I'll show you sometime. I nod, a bit happy to know more about them. We finally reach the gym, and I suddenly remember a question I had in mind for a long time after meeting them, though I never actually dared to ask. Tanya, can I ask how old you are? 24. Neil is 26, and Bobo is 19. Wait, Bobo is still a teen? I thought he was much older than me. It turns out he's not even 2 years older. I'm looking at him differently now. No wonder Tanya treats him like a big baby, she's actually older than him by 5 years. How funny. I'm looking at my bodyguard in a totally different light now. He doesn't seem to care at all and leads the way in front of us. When we arrive at the gym, I'm surprised it's empty, despite being so big. There are 2 rows of machines like treadmills and elliptic bikes, lots of free weights disposed on shelves, yoga balls, colored mats, a few punching bags, and some equipment I totally don't know how one is supposed to use. It's a workday, and people don't come here at this hour," explains Tanya. "Come over here, let's get started." She actually makes me run for 20 minutes, putting me on the treadmill. She uses another one right next to me and watches how I do. Compared to me, Tanya is incredibly fit. Now that she is wearing this kind of outfit, I can see she is slightly muscular, with not a ounce of fat. How lucky! I envy her tan and tall body. When I look at myself in the mirrors, I just look petite and ridiculously skinny. After what she calls the warming up, she takes me to what I identify as a boxing ring and makes me put on 2 boxing gloves. A bit perplexed, I search Bobo for help, but he has started a nap on one of the benches and couldn't care less about what we're doing. I'm pretty sure he's even snoring. "Okay, baby girl. Now that you are better, it's time to get back in shape. Punch this." She's wearing some big, weird cushion glove, waiting for me. I try to hit it, but she gives me an annoyed look. "Nora, you call that a punch? Come on girl, do it seriously. Again, and don't hold back." I'm not holding back. I try punching a few more times, but every time, Tanya won't budge. It's like hitting some wall. She looks at me like I'm some fly. A very weak fly. After a while, she rolls her eyes and asks me to stop. "Nora, you're holding up. Trust me. Even a 5-year-old kid can punch harder than that. I'm not used to this. I've never hit anyone before." I defend myself, blushing. I'm usually the one receiving the hits, but I'm pretty sure Tanya knows that already. But she won't let me go. She shakes her head and shows the gloves. "That's my point. Learn how to throw a good punch, and next time, you can defend yourself." We hear a growl from Bobo's side, and his sister nods. Yes, unless Bobo gets to bite their head off first. But that's not the point, Bobo. "Hey, don't look at me this way, baby girl, I'm just quoting him. Come on, try again. Get angry." I put my fists up as she shows me, and go at it again. This time, I'm trying to get angry as she says. It's easier than I thought. I just think of all I've endured these last few years, how wrong and unfair it was, all of it, and it's coming to me. More strength, more anger, and I put it all into my fist before I punch. Good. Much better. Again, Nora, keep going. One after another, I start punching harder, I can tell. This time, Tanya has to use her strength to block me. I'm getting the hang of it. Tanya keeps directing me, telling me how to place my feet and at which height I should elevate my elbow. I'm sweating, but it surprisingly feels incredible. All this anger I never knew I had in me, all of it comes out and hits one punch after another. All of a sudden, my wolf starts growling. She's with me, getting all of her anger out, too. She's being fierce and stands firm. I've never felt her this way before. I smile, happy to feel her. By the end of our little séance, I'm feeling great. I'm all sweaty and exhausted, but it is such a thrilling feeling. Tanya seems really happy with me, too. She even showed me how to stand and block to defend myself against an opponent, wolf or human. After that, she had me train on a punch bag while she exercised on the treadmills. "How do you feel?" she asks. We are sitting on the living room sofa after a well-deserved shower, and we both changed to new clothes. Tanya is wearing jeans and an oversized jacket, while I picked up a wrap midi dress from my wardrobe. Much better, thank you, Tanya. And actually, I felt my wolf a lot. Do you not hear her usually? Not always. Just when I'm really scared, or sad, or when Damien is there. I blush a bit while saying this, but it's the truth. Tanya laughs and shakes her head. Don't be embarrassed about it, baby girl. Anyway, it's great you connected with her better. I'm going to keep training you. I feel like you need it. I think so, too. I never really expressed myself before. I was always keeping it all to me. You know, that could be part of the reason you've never shape-shifted, Nora. Our wolves are like our real selves. They reflect what we want, and what we feel deep down. The no-filter version. If you're used to staying silent, never saying what you think and ignoring what you feel, it's no wonder you don't feel connected to your wolf. Could it be? It's not that I never felt close to my wolf before. But she always seemed so pitiful and helpless. I could only feel her in emergency situations, like when I got a beating or when I was scared. But it never felt like she wanted to take over, though. As if she always thought it was worthless. Tanya. Where's Damien? I've been meaning to ask all morning. I'm sure I fell asleep in his arms last night. It's as if I can still feel his touch, his smell on me, despite the shower and all. It just lingers on me like some warm shadow. And it makes me want for more. But Tanya just shakes her head with an apologetic look. He's busy for now. I'm not sure where he is exactly, to be honest. He didn't stay long last night. He put you to sleep, and he left right after that. Why is it like this? Am I the only one craving his presence? It seems like he won't stay every time we see each other. I felt so safe and serene in his arms. I want to see him again. So why is it that he's never here? He'll provide me a VIP room in some hospital, now a fancy apartment, but he just comes and go. We remain strangers. I might be wary of his background, of his dark history, but whether I like it or not, he is my mate. All my instincts push me into his arms. My wolf yearns for her counterpart. I spent almost a full month at the hospital. He visited me twice, and for one of them, I was half sleeping. Now, when I thought he had finally come back, he just lands me into some penthouse and leaves again. Maybe that's why I still can't get used to the apartment. It feels so immense, cold, and empty, like the spotless decor of a magazine. I just stay close to Bobo and spend the afternoon watching a movie with him snoring loudly beside me. Surprisingly, Tanya went out for a couple of hours. She just said she had to run a few errands and left us. I just hope she's not making any more shopping on my behalf because the 2 full wardrobes and bookshelves are already much more than I can handle. When she comes back, I'm actually in the study, with Bobo sleeping at my feet. She laughs from the doorstep, surprised I'm actually using the computer instead of reading some of the books. I glance down and notice she's carrying 3 shopping bags in each hand. Brand clothes again? Well, someone has remembered she's living in the 21st century. I'm even surprised you know how to use it. I'm not that clueless. I protest, a bit offended. If you say so, baby girl. Now, tell me, what are you doing? Getting more books? You couldn't have finished reading the whole library in one afternoon. I did start reading a book until chapter 11, but that's it. And the story is excellent, about 4 siblings going to a fantastic world through a magic wardrobe. I have to admit I had a hard time putting it down. Stop making fun of me. I'm just looking at job offers. Wait. You are looking at what? Oh. Judging from Tanya's expression, this is not going to end well. Chapter 11. Tanya has her arms crossed, looking visibly pissed at me. What? Are we also going to argue about this now? This is ridiculous. Are you trying to make my job difficult? Why do you have to work? How can this be a real question? We agreed earlier that I was just borrowing this apartment for now, but that also means I don't intend to live here forever. I need to be able to live on my own, and getting my independence requires money. I can't just rely on Damien forever. I have to think about when I'll have to leave eventually, and when that happens, I don't want to be as hopeless as I was before. I almost died by the hands of my brother, and I let my pack step all over me. I'm not taking chances a second time. But I can't tell her any of this for now. Tanya, I need a job, I need money. I told you, I don't want to feel indebted or anything. Staying here is already too much for me. Will you stop with this stupid money issue? You haven't been here for 24 hours yet, and you're already talking about leaving, and getting a job and everything. Because that is the correct thing to do, Tanya. I've never relied on anyone, and I don't want to. Tanya lets out a scream of frustration, but I don't care. How am I just supposed to accept this dream life and let myself be sheltered like a kid? Life is no fairy tale. I appreciate what Damien's been doing for me, but I don't want to stand back and do nothing. I'm done with fearing my own shadow. I need to learn to speak and live for myself. And it starts with getting a life on my own. And a job. Bobo, say something. I doubt her brother will step in to help her. He hasn't stopped me when I said what I was about to do, and as far as I know, he has no intention of going back to his human form just to argue with me. Even now, he's pretending to sleep under my chair, even though we all can tell he's just ignoring his sister. Nora, I don't think you realize your situation. You're the boss's mate. From now on, you are going to be in danger 24/7. Do you think you're here just because he is being nice to you? Well, there's that, but this is also for security reasons. I thought you wanted to get away from your pack. Just consider that now you have to avoid all the other packs. As far as security go, yes, I did notice the 200-pound wolf following me around all day. But I bite my lip as I realize she's a bit right, too. I know how far Damien's reputation goes, and it's nothing pleasant. If anyone wanted to harm him, they could try and attack me. We may not be official partners or have made it yet, but what I've experienced of our link so far tells me we would definitely feel it if something happened to the other. My wolf agrees, too, but she just doesn't want to part with him. Or let her mate be hurt. But I don't think she cares about the getting a job part at all. That's human stuff. I turned to Tanya. How many people know I'm his fated mate? She looks a bit surprised by my question and actually stops frowning to think about it seriously. Not many, for now. We tried to keep it to a minimum. Only like 10 or 11 people perhaps, including the boss's brothers and mine. So they're basically concealing my existence. Not that it bothers me, I also prefer it that way. But nobody needs to know, right? Tanya, I could find a job far from my clan's turf, act normal, and no one would know I'm related to him in any way. No, I can feel some tension in her voice, and somehow, I think there's something else. Something she doesn't want to tell me. But what could it be? Is it that I'm really in danger, more than I thought? But neither Tanya or Bobo really seem to be on guard. And Tanya did leave us for a couple hours earlier, something she never did when I was at the hospital. After a long silence, both of us doing our own thinking, Tanya lets out a sigh. Gosh, when you were mute for a few weeks, I never imagined you could be that stubborn, baby girl. You know what? If you want to work, I get it. I really do. But please, talk with the boss before doing anything. He was definitely against it, and I don't want to be killed because I let you work. I really hope Tanya's just exaggerating about the killing part. Is she? I mean, he wouldn't kill someone for something so trivial as letting me get a job, right? I try not to think too deeply about it and just nod at her answer. Okay then. I will ask Damien first, I promise. But do you know when I can see him again? She hesitates. I asked him earlier, but he's busy, Nora. The busy excuse again. I get that Damien is an alpha and must be quite busy with such a large pack to handle, but I'm getting tired of it. He's out there doing werewolf stuff while I'm stuck here cooking and reading books, and I hate it. I'm sure he'll find time to visit you real soon, says Tanya with a sorry look. But meanwhile, no more talking about you getting a job, okay? Okay. I can see the relief on her face. So I did wait. To be honest, living in the apartment wasn't as dull as living at the hospital. Maybe Tanya trying to keep me busy had some effect, too, but there was definitely a lot more to do here. Every morning, she would take me to the gym and guide me through a proper workout. She kept teaching me boxing, but I also took a liking to using the treadmill. She insisted on how I should get healthier by doing so, and gain some more energy. It certainly did help me get more confident and stronger, I think. Then, we usually went back together to shower and change, and the siblings would watch me prepare breakfast with hungry eyes. It felt really great to willingly cook for someone else. Tanya showed me how to order the groceries online, and every day, I would prepare any dish I wanted. Tanya and Bobo were no picky eaters and could eat almost anything I wanted to try. Except when I discovered that Bobo couldn't eat anything spicy, and they both really hated pickles. I truly loved those moments. After that, I could do anything I want. Watch a movie, read a book or two on the terrace, play video games with Tanya, or study. I never graduated from high school. My brother had me drop out as soon as he could, so that I could work night shifts on top of working for the clan. I never really thought about what I would have done with a diploma. I don't think I'm the college type. But the other day, I found a few school books in the study, and Tanya revealed that those belonged to Bobo. So from that moment on, I decided to take 2 hours, every day, to try and do some exercises. Funny thing is, Bobo was actually the one to help me with it, as Tanya explained she couldn't finish high school either. When I was wrong, he would make a bark, and sometimes, showed me something with his muzzle. Tanya only had to translate when he really wanted to say or explain anything specific. Turns out, Bobo really was good at teaching, even for a wolf. He was extremely patient with me, so this made my study hours quite enjoyable. Not that I was a bad student, I think I was doing quite all right, too. But on the other side, the days went on, and I had yet to hear from Damien. The worst thing is, Tanya would have him on the phone about 3 to 5 times a week, and he never wanted to speak with me no matter how many times I asked. After 2 weeks, I got to the only conclusion I had left: he wasn't busy, he was avoiding me. And I'd had it. We were on the couch, and Tanya had just taken the call in the middle of some old sci-fi movie I wasn't really interested in anyway. Tanya, let me talk to him. But she quickly hangs up, ignoring me. She shakes her head, and when I see her open her mouth to answer me, I go first before she even gets to speak. Not the he's busy excuse again, Tanya. It's been weeks. And at the hospital, it went on for a full month, too. Let me talk to him. Please. I see her hesitating, turning the phone in her hands again and again. She seems really confused about what to do. But I've made up my mind. I'm done waiting for nothing. Bobo, who was at my feet, suddenly jumps between us on the couch and takes her phone to hand to me. His sister protests, but it's too late. With Bobo keeping her from taking it back, I quickly search through her contacts, and though she has a lot, I finally find him, simply registered under the boss. So mafia-like. I breathe in and press the green phone button. The first ring isn't even over yet when someone immediately picks up. Tanya, ILEST Occupy. Chuestc Chuilya. I'm surprised. I didn't expect to hear someone answer in French. Tanya always talks in English whenever she's on the phone. And it's not Damien, either. It takes me a few seconds to actually recognize this voice. Nathaniel. Oh, is it our princess? Hello there. What is it? Everything all right? Yeah, I just wanted to speak to Damien. Is he there? Sure. Damien, Nora is on the phone, she wants to speak with you. I finally hear Damien's voice over the phone, but he's not talking to me. I can listen to both brothers speaking in French, and I suspect they're arguing. Though Nathaniel sounds very calm as usual, and it's just Damien who sounds angry. It goes on for a few seconds, and I'm biting my lip, anxious. I wish I could understand French, as well. I hope Nathaniel is trying to convince him. In front of me, Tanya is also tense and scrutinizing me. I get up to avoid her gaze and go stand by the glass wall. They stop arguing eventually, and after a short silence, I finally hear Damien's voice on the phone. Nora. I skip a heartbeat. How can the simple sound of my name with his voice through a phone feel so good? What is it? He asks, making me realize I didn't say anything. I wanted to talk to you. When can I see you? I'm busy. I roll my eyes. I'm really getting tired of this sentence. Why won't you see me? Don't say you're busy again, please. He stays silent, and I don't like it. I hate it. Why can't he give me a proper reason? I'm sure he is avoiding me, I just wish I knew why. Even now, I'm suspecting the only reason I can talk to him is that Nathaniel talked him into it. I wait a bit more, but it's still silent on his side, though I hear some sounds on the background. Otherwise, I would have checked to see if he didn't hang up. I decided to give it a go again. I need to discuss some things with you, please. Are you okay? His question surprised me. Did my tone get him worried now? I nod unconsciously and start nervously playing with my hair. Yes, everything's fine. It's just, I have a few things I want to discuss with you. You can't discuss it with Tanya. No, I want to talk to you. Gosh, he really is unwilling to see me. What could I have done to him that he will avoid me at any cost? This is so infuriating. Am I the only one with a whimpering wolf who longs to see her other half? He can't be that cold-hearted that he would ignore his own instincts. No. Damien, please. I want to see you. I can hear him sigh, and he goes silent again. I wait, praying he won't say no or hang up without warning. 1 minute, 2 minutes. I can feel the siblings staring at me from the couch, but I try to ignore their gazes and wait for Damien. I fiddle my hair with my fingers for what seems like forever. Then, I suddenly hear him. Okay. I'll come tonight. I might come late, though. Sure, I'll wait for you. Thank you. He hangs up. I take a second to breathe deep. I'm seeing him tonight. My wolf is acting crazy, jumping around like some happy pup. I turn to Tanya with a smile, totally ecstatic. She, on the other hand, has gone pale from all the anxiety. Tanya, he said yes. He is coming here tonight. What? Really? Thank Moon Goddess, now you can stop harassing me. I stick my tongue out to her, but I don't care. I've gone from anxiety to happiness in just a few seconds, with one word from him. That's crazy. And now I'm all nervous again. Damien's coming. My fated mate is coming. Here. He's coming here. And this time I'm not half-conscious or sleepy. Get a grip, Blue Moon. Nora, you're bright red, baby girl. Bobo says it's cute. And he wants to know if we can have lunch now. Chapter 12. I was anxious all afternoon after that. I kept looking at the clock on the wall, waiting for hours to pass. I was even distracted enough to burn myself while cooking. Tanya got angry at me for being so careless and declared she was going to order some food, banning me from the kitchen for the day. But I couldn't help it. Knowing my mate was coming was the most terrible feeling ever. It was like I had become someone else, not controlling my own body. My wolf was acting crazy all afternoon, and I think I might have been just as insufferable for Bobo and Tanya. I felt feverish, anxious, and clumsy. What was I thinking? Now I realize how bold I've been. Damien Black is the alpha of the strongest pack in the area. No one is more powerful than him for miles around. He's controlling the Blood Moon pack, and anyone who doesn't belong to that pack should fear it. And here I go, the 17-years-old Nora, not even a proper werewolf on some aspects, commanding that he comes to me. Tonight. Since when did I get so brave? So here I am, at almost 11 o'clock, waiting for him. I'm curled up on the sofa, in my silk nightgown and kimono, trying to get interested in that random book while Bobo is happily and loudly snoring next to me. He's taking advantage that Tanya went to bed already to sleep on the couch. I have no clue about when Damien will come. Tanya didn't hear any more from him after that. I've been anxious all day, but it just won't get better until I actually see him. Leaving my book aside, since I've been trying to read the same page for 20 minutes, I think of everything I've been waiting to ask him. Why is he avoiding me? Why leave me in the apartment? Why can't I work? Does he? Gosh, I think I might need to make a list. I sigh, and pet Bobo without thinking, but he doesn't complain. I'm sipping tea, hoping I won't fall asleep, but the apartment is so quiet, it's unsettling. Rain is pouring against the glass wall, but I can barely hear it. The view is stunning, though. The skyline of Silver City by night, like any major city, is full of artificial lights from buildings, street lamps, and cars all together. So lively and pretty. If I look far enough, I can even see part of my clan's turf in the outskirts. I never really realized how remote the Jade Moon actually was. There are a lot more different packs living in the city, and I only know a few of them. The Gold Moon Clan, the Velvet Moon Clan, the Sapphire Moon Clan, the Rising Moon Clan, the Violet Moon Clan, the White Moon Clan, the Pearl Moon Clan, etc. All those clans do their best to coexist peacefully while also defending their turfs. Some only have about 30 members, but some have hundreds. Some are part of more prominent clans or have old alliances, and some can disappear overnight. Silver City has always been full of night creatures, fighting for land and power. Except, now we don't fight over food and territories but over money and estate. It's the same battle. Suddenly, Bobo gets up next to me, and I stop petting him. Did I wake him up? SOR. No. It's him. Something stirs me up inside, and my heartbeat quickens without warning. My whole body knows before I do. Even the way I'm breathing in slightly changes. My wolf is all ears, panting and waiting. I'm so tense. Bobo just silently leaves the room, but at this moment, I couldn't care less. I'm frozen on the couch, my eyes fixated on the door and waiting for him. How is it that I can sense him before I can actually see him? Are all bonds that strong? I can tell he's standing behind the door for a few seconds. What is he waiting for? Then, the door opens, and he takes a step in. Moon Goddess, he is so handsome I can barely think straight anymore. He gets rid of his leather jacket, leaving it on the floor, and walks into the room with this simple t-shirt. A simple black t-shirt that is guilty of showing off his broad shoulders and muscular build. Before I realize it, Damien's already in front of me, but standing a few steps away from the couch I'm on. He won't come close. He looks exhausted. He lets out a sigh and brushes his hair with his hand. Are you okay? I ask, concerned by his worn-out look yet. So why is he avoiding my gaze then? He's looking anywhere but at me. It's awkward, and I don't even know what else to say. Thankfully the room is quite dark, because I must be read right now. I can't help but touch my hair nervously. Try and remember your list, Nora. Thank you for lending me your apartment. It's yours, replies his deep voice. And here we go. I shake my head. It's nice of you to let me stay here, but this isn't mine. You don't like it? No, I do like it, but that's not the issue. I just can't afford to buy such a place, and if I can't, then I can't say it's mine. I'm so nervous, I can feel my voice trembling. He is so intimidating. He's standing a few steps away from me, and neither of us can actually bear to look at the other. What kind of conversation is this? It's a present then. No, I can tell his silver eyes have gone ice cold. Oh no, he's definitely mad. He crosses his arms, but won't add anything. What does this silence mean? This distance between us is so infuriating. I can barely contain my wolf who wants to run to him, so why is he so distant? He looks like he doesn't want to be here, and doesn't want to see me. Does he have any idea how awkward this is for me? And quite intimidating, too. I feel so tiny facing him. He's right there, standing totally quiet and imposing, domineering the room effortlessly. I get up from the sofa, tightening my kimono around me. I couldn't tell where I find the courage to actually stand in front of him. I'm trembling. Why you won't let me work? It's dangerous, he says in his ice-cold tone. But I will need money. No, you won't. What does he mean I won't? I can't expect him to shelter me indefinitely. That would be way too optimistic of me. His short answers are really annoying. And scary, but still irritating. It's like his aura suddenly turned the room darker. I want to step back, but my wolf won't have it. Something is chilling down my spine, something I can't describe that has to do with my instincts. My werewolf instincts. But I'm still hopelessly attracted to him. And that makes his rejection attitude even more painful. I nervously bite my lip, trying to think of what I can do, what I could say. Why is this so difficult? I wish I could trust him, I wish I knew what he's thinking right now. But here he is, indecipherable, cold and barely talking. Doesn't he want me? Is he rejecting me? My body grows cold just from that scary thought alone. I need to work. I want to. I said no. Look at me. Oh moon goddess, I just screamed. Why am I like this? I'm shaking, I'm tearing up, but I don't care. This whole situation is so impossible. And I'm tired of it. Tired of waiting for a sign from him, tired of his distant attitude. I know we're basically strangers, I know I'm not pretty and not mate material, but still. My cry finally made him look at me, and he seems shocked. Okay, I am surprised by my own reaction, too. I wipe the beginning of a tear with my hand, trying to act tough like I'm not refraining a sob. Calm down, Nora. I take a second and look at him in the eyes. Why are you avoiding me like this? I know I'm not the girl one would wish for as his mate, I get that. But stop it, Nora. I obey immediately. I can't help but obey. Damien is an alpha giving me a direct order. Stupid wolf instinct. I turn my head to the window, avoiding his gaze this time. Is this it? Will he reject me now? I put my arms around me, feeling colder than ever. My wolf is whimpering continuously, and I can't even tell her to stop. I feel like crying, too, but I won't. I hear him let out a sigh, and all of a sudden he's stepping closer. I shiver, unable to raise my eyes up. I feel him coming closer. I want to step back, I want to run. But here I stay, frozen and terrified. His smell again, and I can feel him facing me, dangerously close. I hold my breath. Damien stopped right in front of me, so close I can feel his warmth. What is he going to do now? Scold me? Hit me? Hideous flashbacks come to me, and moon goddess, I don't want to remember any of it at this moment. He raises his hands, and slowly, puts them around my neck. But not in a forceful, threatening manner like my brother. No, Damien's touch is incredibly gentle against my skin, his thumbs caressing my cheeks. Before I can even realize what's going on, I feel his lips, very softly, kissing my forehead. What is this feeling? I feel a wave of warmth flowing through my body, starting from my forehead. I close my eyes and breathe again. His lips linger on my skin, and I raise my hands to put them on his wrists, as if I wanted to keep him there, close to me. This simple kiss chases away all of my worries. I feel so many things right now, I'm overwhelmed with emotions. I want to stay like this forever. The two of us, so close, in this dark room, with only the sound of the rain. After a few seconds, he stops and stares at me in the eyes. Our faces are so close, I feel hypnotized by the silver in his. I can see my reflection in it, and I suddenly remember my horrid scar. I turn away and try to hide it with my hair, but he grasps my hand to stop me. Nora, don't hide it. But don't. I look up to him, embarrassed. He really doesn't mind it. He sighs, and caresses my cheek once again, on the side where my scar is. I don't want any other mate than you, Nora. How can I believe him? Anyone would want someone prettier than me as a mate. I have the lowest self-esteem, and I'm ridiculously weak. I've done nothing but tremble in fear for the last 10 years of my life. Yet his gestures towards me are so gentle. Why didn't you want to see me? I whisper. He sighs and takes his hands off me. Why is he stepping back now? Did I say something wrong? He looks at me, and I can't tell what he's thinking. I see him crossing his arms on his chest, and he seems to hesitate. He looks at me again, seeming hesitant. What now? I'm about to ask him what's wrong when he speaks up again, looking straight at me. I wanted to see you, Nora. I wanted it so badly, I could barely contain my wolf the past weeks. I'm containing myself. I don't think you realize how much self-restraint I need right now. Oh. Chapter 13. Oh. I turn entirely red as soon as I understand. How stupid am I? Well, I suppose it is to be expected that his wolf self would make him desire me. And he is a fully grown man, too. So embarrassing. I really didn't expect that. And all of a sudden, I remember Marcus. He wanted me, too. I know Damien's not the same as that PT, but I start shivering when I remember. His hands on me, his disgusting breath close to my ears. I unconsciously step back, and Damien notices it. Nora. I'm okay, just give me a minute, please. I breathe in deeply. Damien is not Marcus. He's my mate. Calm down, Nora, you know you're safe here. But what am I supposed to say now? Damien was pretty clear he wants me. That way. And I get it's werewolf nature, how our instincts want it. But I'm definitely not ready for that. And there are so many things that should come first. How should I do this? I don't want to refuse him point blank. I should be so happy that he won't reject me. And it's not like the idea completely disgusts me, either. I still can't get used to the thought of doing these kinds of things yet. I know nothing about men, nothing about dating. Damien, I don't. I'm not sure I stutter. He shakes his head. Nora, I don't want to force you. I do want you, and I am barely restraining myself from taking you right here, right now. But I won't. Oh my gosh, why does he have to be so blunt? And with his poker face, too. I'm the only one blushing so much that I have to look somewhere else. I'm feeling so hot right now, this is ridiculous. I try to get back to a normal heartbeat, but it's hard to look at him after hearing that kind of thing. Should I thank him or something? How awkward. And I can feel him staring at me, too, waiting for my reaction. Unable to come out with a proper answer, I just nod stupidly. Can we talk? I ask. My question seems to surprise him, but it did come a bit out of the blue. I'm fidgeting a bit, but we've barely exchanged more than a few words before, so I thought that maybe we could get to know each other a bit more. Okay. He comes to sit on the sofa with me, though we each sit in the opposite corner, making sure we are not too close. I just hope he is not too tired. He lays his head to rest on the back of the sofa and closes his eyes. I just grab my cup of tea, feeling embarrassed now that we were supposed to talk but don't. But what could I ask? With that dark background of his, there are lots of questions I wouldn't dare to ask. Like what it is to be alpha, or how did he get so rich? I didn't feel comfortable about asking stupid stuff like his hobbies or his favorite movie, either. After pondering for a while, he surprises me by being the first one to talk. You look better. I let out a shy smile, happy he noticed the changes, despite it being very faint in my opinion. Ah, yes. I feel much better now. Tanya's watching me. And she's teaching me a bit of boxing, too. You're still too thin. I couldn't disagree with that, so I just nod a bit and take a sip. I still have a long way to go to be as healthy as girls my age. But for some reason, I feel so relaxed now that my mate is in the same room. He's not any less intimidating to me, but his presence definitely is something that my wolf needs. Thank you for all of this, I say, realizing I didn't have a chance to thank him so far. When I look back at what my life was before, I would never have imagined such a thing happening to me. Before that, every day was a nightmare. I would work all day long, fearing someone might scold me or hit me for any reason, if there was one. The days were long, exhausting, and straining. I had no friend, no one that would care for me or wonder if I had eaten or rested. All I could do was pray the sun would set soon so that I could hide back into the dark basement, and sleep on that yellow couch. Even now, I seldom wake up from a nightmare, thinking I'm back in that cold and frightening place. I never dare to say to Tanya how cold I feel sometimes. The siblings are the ones that saved your life. His voice has suddenly gone colder. I look at him, and he's staring the wall facing him. And he has that terrifying, angry look again. Is he thinking about the day they found me? I don't want to remember it. I can still feel my brother's hands on my throat tightening, tightening so much while I struggle to breathe. He would have killed me. He really would have, had Tanya and Bobo not found me. How did you get so despicable, Alec? Tanya said you wouldn't tell us which clan you're from. I stay silent. I won't say. They may have been cruel to me, but they are still my pack. I don't want Damien's wrath to unleash on them. Some of the pack members are not that bad, and no matter what, I know I still owe the clan somehow. And I'm afraid of what Damien is capable of. What will you do if I tell you? This time, it's his turn to remain silent for a while. The room stays quiet for a couple of minutes, and I take my gaze to the glass wall. It might be past midnight now, but the rain isn't stopping at all. Did they hurt you? Yes. No, Nora. He knows I'm lying, we both do. But I just can't say it. I can't. He suddenly turns to me, scaring me a bit. But he looks serious, not really angry at me. Gosh, how can he be that intimidating when he's only sitting? If I let you work, can you tell me? No. I reply, shocked by his bargaining. I'm not going to trade my pack's lives just for the sake of letting me work. All of this is wrong in the first place. I shouldn't even have to ask him. Just let me work, I will be cautious, I promise. You don't need to work. I do. I need money. I don't have anything. What do you need money for? Why did he suddenly get angrier? He's looking at me with such a menacing look, I feel like he might shred me to pieces if I give him a wrong answer. I can't help but crawl back a few inches on the sofa. What is wrong with him? What is he thinking now? You're scaring me, I asked. What do you need money for, Nora? Stop looking at me like this. I'm shivering all over already. I just don't want to be in need again, I stutter anxiously. He keeps looking at me for a while, and then he finally stops staring at me. He doesn't look so angry anymore, and I can relax a little. Moon Goddess, what was that? What answer was he thinking of that would make him so furious? You won't. I look at him, still shaken up from what just happened. He doesn't seem to realize what state he got me in. I do understand how people can fear him so much now. Even when I angered Vincent in the past, he never scared me to that level. What's going to happen with Damien from now on? He is my mate, and I can't get out of that. But what if I get him really angry someday? I catch my breath again, trying to regain some of my composure. I run a hand through my hair with my fingers, getting to relax a little with my tea. Damien. What did you think I was gonna say? I didn't really want to ask. But I thought, maybe if I knew, I might get to understand Damien a bit better and get closer to him somehow. After all, I had no idea why he was angry for. And we barely know each other, so how would I get to know without asking? Nothing. Is he playing the silent one now? I sigh. We have so many secrets to keep from each other. I wonder how long this will last. We might have been the worst people to be picked to be each other's mates, if I think about it. Aren't we opposites somehow? A long silence follows, but I don't really mind. I grab one of the large cushions to put on my legs and observe him. He does look tired if I look closely. His black hair is disordered, and his shirt is slightly wrinkled. I guess he didn't entirely lie about the being busy part. How is it with the clan? I ask. Annoying. I frown at his weird answer. He doesn't look like a very enthusiastic alpha, for someone at the head of such a large pack. What about Nathaniel? Why isn't he your beta? Nathaniel is the alpha of his own clan. My family wolves are not beta materials, I suppose that can happen, too. Being an alpha usually runs in the blood, and considering how intimidating Damien is, he probably couldn't submit to anyone. But I thought Nathaniel to be a bit less dominating. I suppose his pack is somehow allied to the Blood Moons. That's not unusual among large packs, as sometimes they have way too many members for one alpha to handle, so they would divide between smaller packs and have other wolves be alphas to handle it better. What about your younger brother? Liam is too young. He's just training as lead hunter for now. Too young? He looked like a teen around my age when I saw him. He may be young, but he could perfectly be an alpha also. Maybe he seems older than his real age is, then. Or he's too immature for now. But if he is already lead hunter, it means he must already be well respected within the pack. Talking about alpha stuff, I wonder why the moon goddess chose me to be his mate. Surely we have nothing in common, and I don't really see myself as an alpha material either. How could I ever stand as equal to Damien? Surely his pack would see me as a joke. I was the lowest on my previous pack, and now I have to prove myself to the Blood Moon clan? Was there a mistake somewhere? There should be hundreds of other women more prepared and ready to take the job. Being the mate of the alpha leader would mean I have to be above all other wolves. How could that wolf ever be me? I wake up a bit later, and I realize I'm in my bed. Damien. Did I feel asleep on the couch? I panic a bit, but after a second, I realize he is sitting just next to me. I feel his hand gently caressing my hair. Behind him, I can see it's still dark outside. What time is it? Almost 2 in the morning. You fell asleep, so I carried you here. I didn't mean to wake you. I realize he has his jacket on, and frown. Are you leaving? I have to. When will you come back? I ask immediately. He sighs and leans over to kiss my forehead again. I don't know. Soon. How soon is soon? My wolf whines. She doesn't want him to go, but my human self knows he has other responsibilities. He caresses my hair a few more seconds and exits the room as silently as a shadow. Tiredness and the sound of the rain get me back to sleep as soon as the door shuts. Chapter 14. The next morning, I could still feel his lips against my forehead, like traces of a burn. I stayed in bed for a while, thinking it over and over. The whole evening had felt so unreal. Damien exuded this aura of untouchability, yet he was so close to me. I could also feel his wolf, a raging beast that could get violent any second, unlike his human self that acted so gently sometimes. I can't fully understand him, but I sure want to. I feel something moving on my bed, and I notice Bobo's head looking at me. The way he's resting his head on the mattress is a bit funny because I can't see the rest, as if he's just some bodiless, floating head. I laugh. "You hungry, Bobo?" He lets out what I guess is an affirmative growl. I guess I missed the training for this morning. I hope Tanya won't hold it against me, as I got to sleep late. I take a quick shower, and I can't help but remember Damien's scent. Is it so enticing because he is my mate? Or do other female werewolves feel it, too? My wolf growls loudly. Yeah, I don't like the idea either. I choose a pair of dark jeans and an oversized grey t-shirt and pull my hair up in a messy ponytail while exiting my bathroom. Bobo is right there waiting for me. Tanya, however, is absent from the apartment that day. She just left me a somewhat mysterious note, saying, "Pack business. We'll be back in the afternoon." I read it, and just cook breakfast for Bobo and myself. I wonder what's going on. A rogue attack? Or from another clan? I heard the Purple Clan is quite aggressive. I can't help but leave my thoughts to drift to my own clan. But am I still part of the Jade Moon anymore? I wish I knew what happened. It's been a month and a half now. December is coming, what is Alec doing now? Did he manage to pay his debts off? Bobo, can we go out? Please. The wolf ignores me, his massive head still in his plate. But I can't even bother with what's in mine. I get up and go back to my bedroom to grab a white hoodie that seems warm enough, get a pair of sneakers, and head for the entrance. But once I push the handle, it won't open. What? I've seen Tanya go in and out about a dozen times. I look at it, and there's just a keyhole. Did Tanya close it after leaving? Bobo probably knew I wouldn't be able to go, so he didn't bother to stop me. Great. Annoyed, I go back to eating my breakfast, trying to think. Is there a chance there is a spare key somewhere? If we are locked inside, they must have a plan in case an emergency arises? Like a fire or something. I try to convince Bobo a bit longer, but he ignores me as usual, even when I threaten to stop cooking. How can he be even more stubborn than Tanya? Annoyed, I try to keep myself busy, but all I want is to exit the apartment and at least take a walk in the city. I know how crazy it is after what he's done to me, but I can't help but worry about Alec. He is my brother, after all. And there is the matter about Marcus. I still can't remember clearly what happened that night, and it worries me more than anything. I see bloodstains everywhere each time I try, and I'm scared I've done something terrible. They got rid of my dress when they found me, but every time I picture it, she's not white anymore. Bobo doesn't care about what I do all day. I guess he's confident I won't be able to find the spare key if there is one anyway. As soon as I start innocently reading one of my study books, Bobo resumes his favorite activity, sleeping. It doesn't take 5 minutes until he starts snoring. Usually, when he's napping, Tanya takes over in watching me and she won't leave the room I'm in. This time, however, Tanya's away, and I may have 2 to 3 hours of no surveillance time. After a few minutes, I get up to grab a cup of water in the kitchen, checking if Bobo will wake up and follow me. But he doesn't. I can hear him snoring peacefully, and I don't know if I should be glad he won't wake up or a bit annoyed that he is that confident in me not being able to leave. Taking my chance, I tiptoe to the entrance and take a look at the keyhole once again. Can I try and force it with a hairpin, like in movies? I don't feel too confident about the idea. And all the clicketing might wake up my bodyguard. I try to force the handle a couple of times as quietly as possible, but of course, it won't just open. So frustrating. I was about to turn around and give up, when I heard steps outside. Is Tanya coming back earlier than planned? But to my surprise, it turns out to be a teenager, with a hoodie and a backpack. Liam? I ask, surprised to see the younger brother here. He puts an index on his lips, mimicking to shut up with a pissed look. Actually, it seems like he is a bit anxious. Is he avoiding someone? He looks at me from head to toe, then whispers softly. You alone? No, Bobo is sleeping in the salon, but, he makes a grimace, and is about to close the door behind him, coming in anyway, but I put my feet in between. He looks at me with a surprised look and mimics with his lips so I would understand. What are you doing? I was about to go out. What? Alone? Why? Brother, no. He frowns. Why so many questions? I'm pretty sure the brother he's thinking about is Damien, and I can't help but hesitate a second, biting my lip. Will he report me? He understands my reaction and shakes his head. You can't. He is going to get real mad. This time it's my turn to make a stay quiet gesture. We can still hear Bobo snoring, but I'm pretty sure he keeps waking up from his nap anytime if he hears something suspicious, and I'm running out of time. What about you? I ask. He shrugs and shows his backpack. Skipping school. Nath's gonna beat of me if he grabs me. Okay. I won't tell if you don't tell. I suggest. Great, now I am bargaining with a school-skipping teenager. No. Damien will kill me. Looks like he's much more worried about his older brother's reaction than Nathaniel. I thought I was lucky that he chose today to try and sneak here, but now turns out he is focused on making me stay. As if having to dodge Bobo is not going to be complicated enough. I insist. Please. I only need a couple of hours, Tanya is away, and Bobo is sleeping like a baby. His eyes light up all of a sudden, and he makes a sneaky grin. Right. The meeting. There was an attack this morning, so now they are all meeting up at the tower. I forgot about that stupid thing. What attack? Is it bad? And what is this tower now? Vincent mentioned once that the Blood Moon clan's headquarters was actually in a skyscraper, the tallest of the city. Is that where they are now? My wolf instantly asks if we can go meet our mate. I want to go too, but before I can even think twice about it, I feel my wrist grabbed, and Liam takes me out of the apartment. I'm a bit shocked, but before I can say anything, he carefully closes the door behind us. How did you get in, by the way? It's an 8 digits code, 2007123. I just found it by chance after trying a few times. I've seen my brother use that one before. How funny, it's the exact date of my 7th birthday. I wonder if something happened to Damien that day? I follow Liam to the elevator, as I don't remember coming to the building. While the elevator gets down, I realize what I just did. I escaped the room. I feel bad for Bobo, but hopefully, I will be back before he wakes up. Next to me, Liam seems a lot less nervous now that he knows his brothers are busy. He looks more like Damien than Nathaniel. The youngest of the three has messy dark brown hair, not as black as his brother, but his eyes are almost the same as Damien, a dark grey. He is a bit smaller and thinner than his brothers, though, and still has his teenager features. We are probably the same age if he is in high school now. What? He asks suddenly, noticing that I was staring. Sorry, but it's kind of the first time we see each other properly, so, he rolls his eyes. Oh, I got plenty of time to look at you when you were in the hospital. But you look better now, not like a skeleton. He is as straightforward as a teenager. I wonder why his brothers made him look after me, too, when I was hospitalized, since he doesn't look very responsible. Maybe he was being watched at the same time. We finally get downstairs, and I can't help but to breathe in profoundly when we exit the building. Free at last. It may only be a couple of hours before I go back to my golden cage, though. Okay, what now, princess? Where do you want to go? You're going to follow me? I ask, surprised. Yet. I don't want me kicked when we get back just because you stupidly tripped and hurt yourself or something. I'm sticking with you, so tell me, where is it we are going? We're going east, then. I start walking, but he just looks at me as if I was doing something stupid. What? I ask, dumbfounded. What, are you waiting for me to shapeshift? Aren't we supposed to get there fast? I shake my head. I can't shapeshift. I've never done it before. He stares at me for a few seconds, shocked. Wow, you really are as useless as you look. Okay, I get it. Never mind then, let's walk like stupid humans. But you better walk fast. We did walk for quite a while. I hadn't realized how far we were from the Jade Moon turf. At some point, we even took the subway when Liam realized where we were headed, and he paid the tickets for both of us. Surprisingly enough, he wasn't asking me anything. He even took his headphones out to listen to some music on the way, and asked me if I liked any music in particular. I didn't, but he still kept talking to me about his favorite groups, telling me which songs I should listen to and about the concerts he wanted to go later that year. Liam? Can you tell me about your brothers? He looks a bit surprised by my question but put his headphones back into his backpack. We were walking through the last streets of the city, a few minutes away from our destination, and I had meant to ask him for a while now. What do you want to know? I don't know, things like, what do they do for a living? And where do they live? Just that? Well, I'm not sure about what Damien does. He is busy with alpha stuff most of the time. Meetings and all. But he owns 5 or 6 buildings and some establishments in the city. Like the one you live in. What? I thought he earned the apartment, not the whole building. Nathaniel is mainly at his restaurants. It's been his dream since we were kids, so Damien lets him runs all the restaurants and hotels we have when he's not busy with the clan. I thought he had a different clan. I ask, confused. You really know nothing, don't you? Nathaniel is the alpha of the Velvet Moon clan, but it's basically a branch or an ally of the Blood Moon clan. It's like the same pack. It's just so that Damien and he can split the work. Wait, the Velvet Moon is Nathaniel's pack. This clan is another of the biggest ones in the city. Even I know a few places they own and about how big their turf is. Now that I think about it, the Blood Moon and Velvet Moon turfs overlap a lot, but I had thought that it was just related to being allies, not being a branch of the same clan. Yet, he killed the former alpha and took his place about 3 years ago. The easiest way to get the job done, they were super annoying before. I'm stunned by how casually Liam can say such things. Is this really a thing to say out loud? And talking about Nathaniel, too, I can't imagine him killing someone as simple as that, it sounds so cold-hearted. But then again, he is a black. Chapter 15. As we get closer to my clan's turf, if I'm still part of it somehow, my thoughts are no longer about the Black Brothers' history, but about my own dark past. I'm genuinely scared of what might happen. Will they reject me? Am I considered dead? Or as a rogue? I decided to head for Robert's bar first, as it's one of the Jade clan's only establishments in the city, and far enough from the main house. Moreover, if I can talk to anyone first, I would pick Elizabeth. She might not love me lots, but she was never mean to me and is still the one that I considered closest to being a friend. Liam is walking next to me, and I can see him frowning, trying to recognize where we are. The streets we are in now are a bit too poor to be of any interest to anyone, so it's hard to say whose turf it is. But I just head to the bar with a jade stone signboard in front. I stop a few steps before entering and try to hide my hair a bit as I put my hood on. The Jade Moon clan? Seriously? You're from this clan of weaklings? Scoffs Liam. Yes, now please, I don't want them to notice me for now, okay? I give him a begging look, and he rolls his eyes as he lets me enters first. Honestly, I have to say, having Liam with me is really reassuring. He is one of the Black Brothers, and I'm pretty sure he can warn one of his brothers in no time if anything goes wrong. Which I hope won't happen. But at this early hour, the bar is entirely empty, as usual. And behind the counter, it's only Elizabeth cleaning glasses while whistling. She probably partied again last night, as I recognize her familiar messy bun, tired eyes, and jean jumpsuit. She notices us entering right away. Hello, what can I? Oh Moon Goddess, Nora? Is that really you? She looks so shocked, she stares at me blankly for a few seconds before coming to me, almost running. She pats and examines me as if to see if I'm real. Liam stays silent next to me, but he's looking at her like she's some annoying fly. Hi, Liz, don't act like this. You crazy girl. I thought we would never see you again after what happened. She almost yells at me, and I feel really awkward. We haven't seen each other for weeks, and I have no idea what she really thinks about me. Is she angry? Or happy? Too hard to tell, but for now, she just looks like she's still in shock from my returning. I bite my lip, a bit confused on how I'm supposed to act with her, but she sighs while looking at me. Oh girl, you have to tell me what happened, okay? Sit down, you can tell me all about it. She pushes us to one of the nearest tables and quickly brings 3 bottles of soda from the bar while we take a seat. I don't feel too comfortable being here. It's better than being at the main house, but I'm still afraid one of the pack members might suddenly walk in. Though, having Liam next to me is kind of reassuring. He starts drinking immediately, but Liz won't even look at him, too busy focusing on me. She takes my hand as if we were some close friends sharing secrets. Gosh, girl, you really have to tell me what happened. Things got crazy after you killed Marcus, you know. After I what? Beside me, Liam raises an eyebrow and gives me an interrogating look, but I couldn't care less. I didn't kill anyone. As far as I know. I shake my head. I have way too many things left unknown until now, I need to start and fill the blanks. Liz, please tell me what happened since I was gone. She sighs a bit too dramatically, and I can tell she's actually happy to gossip. Even when she mentioned Marcus' death, she didn't seem to really care or be affected. She starts talking while playing with some of the sparkly rings on her fingers. Well, Alpha noticed you and your brother were gone for a while, so he sent people looking for you guys. But Alec returned alone a few hours later in the middle of the night, and he looked like hell. I was there, because I had just come home from work. He had one mean, giant bite mark on his face, and he acted really weird. He said you had gone crazy. He said you killed Marcus and tried to kill him. What? Alec was the one that tried to kill me. How crazy is that story? Even though I can't exactly remember what happened with Marcus, I'm positive I never even hit my brother. He left me to die. Tanya and Bobo barely got there in time. Is Bobo the one that attacked my brother? To chase him away? I'm so shocked, I can't speak for a moment, but Liz doesn't notice. She starts checking her nails. Next to me, Liam is watching my reaction, but I just ignore him. And Vincent believed this. Elizabeth shakes her head. Not really. Actually, a lot of people didn't. To start with, Alec was obviously attacked by a huge wolf, and we all know you can't shift. You couldn't possibly be that big, anyway. And Marcus' body? Nowhere to be found. Dead or alive, he disappeared the same day as you. The guys said his apartment was a mess, though. None of us really knew what to believe. You had disappeared, and your brother kept saying all this weird stuff. Some thought you might have gone crazy for real, but I didn't, of course. I know my girl. Oh, and Vincent and Peter didn't believe Alec either, so they told everyone to shut up until we were sure about what was going on. Marcus is missing? Is he really dead? I know the mess part is real, I can remember some of it now, but I'm unclear about what really happened. And it's scarier than before, with what Elizabeth said. Did I really kill him? I can't remember anything but him trying to RE me, and then Alec pursuing me. But what if he is alive? Will he leave me alone? The idea alone is terrifying. In front of me, Elizabeth's mind has already jumped somewhere else. Hey, tell me what happened to you now. You look all better, girl. And I know the brand of your hoodie. Is it real? Elizabeth is in girls' gossip mode, but I'm miles from it. How can she actually be smiling right now? It's like she doesn't care about all that happened. I know she wasn't there and she is not really close to Marcus or Alec either, but... Am I the only one who thinks this whole story is crazy? What about Alec? I ask, ignoring her questions. Is he still there? She frowns and scratches her head, looking a bit hesitant. Not anymore. Things kind of got messy the week after your disappearance. Vincent was, like, super angry at him for not properly explaining what happened with Marcus and you, and a lot of people started accusing him of borrowing lots and lots of money. Seems like he even stole stuff from the main house to sell it. Can you believe that? Peter unleashed on him one day, it was crazy. He beat him real bad, and eventually banished him. He did what? My brother got banished from the clan? And a month ago, to boot? I'm not surprised that Peter beat him. Alec was never really strong, to begin with. But where in the world could he be now? No one wants to be a rogue. All they can do is live like beggars, stealing from other wolves and sleeping outside all the turfs. Every pack always outcasts rogues and won't let them on their territory. It would be hard for him to even be in Silver City now. Did he escape to the wild like others? They say some even go back to completely wild life and forget they were humans once. No, wait. Alec was spotted in the hospital days after that. So why was he looking for me? Did Alec know who had rescued me? Or was he pushed to the wall and tried to find me to help him? And there is still the Marcus matter. Nora, who's the kid? I turn to Liam, but he is growling already. Guess the kid part didn't please him. Liz immediately avoids his eyes, reacting to his alpha aura. He may be young and not have a proper pack yet, but no one can deny Liam's authority. He has the same dominating presence as his brothers, and Liz is just a regular wolf. He finally stops, and Elizabeth decides to address to me instead of him. Why did you bring a stranger to our turf? Do you want Vince to be mad as soon as you come home? I raise my head, shocked. To go home? So I am still considered as part of the pack? I thought they might have excluded me as soon as they did for my brother. But before I can answer, Liam surprises me by being the one to raise his voice, for the first time since we entered the bar. To be mad at her? What do you mean? Does this stupid alpha of yours knows what's coming to him? He says with a mean grin. Now Elizabeth's smile is completely gone, and she looks petrified. I can tell she's trying hard not to gaze into Liam's direction and focuses on me solely. Nora, what does he mean? What is coming? But I turn to Liam and give him a hush look. Stop it. You're not saying anything, we agreed. Whatever. My brother's going to find them, anyway. Sooner or later, your weak former clan will be destroyed. He shrugs. I don't like the smile he has on now, and I can see Elizabeth has started shaking. And it's not my former clan, I'm still part of the Jade Moon, it seems. But Liam doesn't care, he's having fun right now. He is intentionally scaring her and using his aura. I don't like how he is cruelly making fun of her. Liam, stop it. He stops but gives me an annoyed look, like a kid who just got his favorite toy confiscated. I don't care. I point my index at the door, ignoring that pissed teen attitude of his. If you're going to make things difficult, you can wait for me outside. TSS. Weakling. He growls while exiting the bar. Elizabeth seems to relax as soon as he's out. Nora, who is this guy? And how can you not be scared? I had to fight all I can to keep myself seated. My wolf was going nuts with this guy here. Now that I think about it, it's true I should have been just as scared as she was. But I've never been really affected by an alpha's aura. Vincent, Nathaniel, Liam, none of them intimidated me. Only Damien could scare me, but only when he was furious. And now even his little brother could make a grown wolf shiver so much within seconds? I, indeed, must have some immunity of some sort because of my mate. I don't know how to explain what happened any other way. Don't mind him, he's just a friend. And Liam Black, my mate's youngest brother, but that I won't tell her. I feel like I'm desperately trying to prevent two worlds from colliding. I run my fingers through my hair, trying to relax a little. This is way too much information for me to take all at once. I sigh and take a sip of my soda, but Elizabeth can barely contain herself. Now, will you tell me? I'm dying here, girl. You've been away for weeks. Sorry, Liz. Someone attacked me, and I was taken to the hospital. I stayed there a full month, and then a friend took me in. She looks at me suspiciously, apparently disappointed by my lousy explanation. So far, I didn't say anything that wasn't true. I just made sure not to mention any names. Even if he's outside, I'm pretty sure Liam can still hear us, and I don't want him to hear anything bad that could reach Damien's ears. Elizabeth ponders for a while, then points an index at me. I've seen her do that before. She is about to fire all her questions at once. Who attacked you? I don't know, I lie. How did you escape? My friends intervened just in time. They chased my attacker away and took me to a hospital. How long? In the hospital, how long did you stay there? About a month. I was in a coma for a few days, and they asked me to rest after that. And now, where are you staying? I told you, at a friend's place, in the city. A friend. I know she won't believe me, simply because I never had any friends. Not until I met Tanya and Bobo, and Elizabeth knows that. I sigh, annoyed by this endless examination. Listen, Liz, I just happened to meet some good people, okay? People who gave you branded clothes, she mutters. I see her thinking, and she looks at me all of a sudden, with a big, excited smile. Oh my goddess, Nora, you have a sugar daddy. What? No. Are you crazy? Moon goddess, how can she say such things? I'm bright red from the embarrassment, and her stupid idea is really vexing. Elizabeth knows I'm a virgin, she used to make fun of me for it. I'm not even sure about what a sugar daddy really is. That is so humiliating, I can't help but growl at her when she starts laughing out loud. When she hears my growl, she suddenly stops to get up and steps back. What, Nora? I stop and put my hand on my mouth, realizing I growled out loud for the first time. And with quite some effect, too. Liz is looking totally freaked out. Liz, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, so you really can shapeshift? She suddenly says, shocked. I thought you were totally unable to shapeshift, but you really can growl like a big girl. She's right. Growling requires us to use our wolf form throat, and hence, slightly shapeshift. And turns out, I can actually do it now. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.